play the game and then immediately starts vamping
We can't
about random bullshit.
We can't play for 30 seconds. That's my window.
It's also so important in the intro as it fades in that we're talking about some inane bullshit.
Yeah, that's part of our brand.
Hello,
Some
everybody.
people,
Hello.
some people come to listen to bullshit. I swear.
True.
We're going to be down Philo for a little bit because he is all sicky wicky.
Oh no.
Oh no, what's he sick with? Is it the butt sickness?
No, he's just got he's got some kind of itis. He's not.
Oh,
He hasn't been doing well.
itis. He done eat a lot.
But yeah, welcome back to Wake of the Fallen Moon. We're gonna play a little bit of D&D for a bit and see what happens.
Hell yeah.
'Cause I don't know what's gonna happen. Last we left off, you guys arrived at the White Queen's palace and decided to do Mortal Kombat with them.
It wasn't supposed to be mortal.
They agreed to the plan.
They did. They did not agree to is being kissed by Alistair, and that caused them to get a little upset.
Whatever it takes to win.
Good.
It's well, okay.
I will do
Listen.
anything to win anything.
Oh, okay.
That might
yeah,
be why
we-
Alistair did it. I can't speak for Alistair. Jupe did it to prove that we can take a hat off a witch.
I'm also going to need you to take that back because we are literally talking about sexual assault. So
Okay.
no,
Only did it to prove we could take a hat. I'm sorry.
I love you.
Alistair feels
Didn't
bad,
really-
which is why he's hiding in the next room. Like a kid who got yelled at.
Not really expecting the explosive results that occurred after that. Yeah. Guys
Yeah.
fought for a bit. And White Queen used some invulnerability. And you guys eventually, after a bit of trial and error, figured out a way to break that.
Mm.
Yeah. Here we are. The White Queen is currently unconscious. The hat had been removed, but when you removed it, it kind of turned to ice and slush. You get the sense that that was not actually their hat. Some kind of facsimile that was granting them some level of power, but yeah, you guys all got a little bit of healing from some of the servants, the kind of nurse that resides here in the palace, and I think we will pick up with you guys discussing like what's the plan. I know you guys want to wait until the White Queen wakes up to have a conversation with them, and we were going to pick up there. But before we jump into that, I just kind of want to know what's the vibe, like who's all going to be there, and do you guys want to do any like checks or anything prior to that?
Jupe's main priority is making sure that when the White Queen wakes up, he is somewhere where he feels like safe, comfortable, not surrounded by a bunch of people crowding around him. He has space, maybe a little bit of like, a blanket, hot cocoa. He doesn't want him to wake up and be in like fight mode. He wants him to understand that we're here, but we're not threatening. There's a twofold thing with that. It's not just that we're missing, because that frames us as like, oh, they've been kicked out of the castle. But that we're here and now we want to talk about it. We want to decompress. We want to get to the bottom of this. But low pressure.
Stanley's waiting in the whatever room this is, library?
Yeah, it's kind of like a library sitting room.
Yeah, like a little library sitting room with Ali, and sort of staying away from the White Queen because he understands he doesn't have the most couth.
It's called a study.
Is it? There's no desk.
You don't need a desk for study.
Then how do you do it at school, huh?
What? Dang, got me.
He got you.
I think Waga's going to sit in front of the fireplace and brood.
I never went to school.
Ali is alternating from reading and pacing to working on a magic item to reading to staying to pacing to reading to pacing to, yeah, he's just in there doing anxious things.
Are there any checks that you would like to do?
I forget what kind of books were on the shelf. Is there like anything I could research to find like I don't know.
There's just kind of a spattering of different things. There's some geography books, a little bit of fiction.
Is there anything on witches, even if it is fiction?
There's probably a couple of like children's storybooks and like old folk tales, that sort of thing.
Okay. Allie would read those anyway. He's used to trying to parse through folktales and stuff for nonfiction. He may not find anything, but it's something to keep his brain busy and not thinking about the queen possibly chopping off his head when he wakes up.
For sure.
Stain is doing that antsy thing of like kicking his legs under while they're dangling off the couch. It's clear he wants to say something, but is holding back from it.
What's
Just
on
kind
your
of nodding
mind,
along.
Stain?
Oh, is Kaku in the little study?
Oh crap! No, I'm not even there.
Okay,
So I was just trying to throw you a bone.
no problem.
Somebody else do it.
You seem anxious.
Me anxious? Nah.
Is the pacing bothering you? I can stop. Sorry.
No, I got great coping mechanisms.
Yeah. Like what?
Like getting drunk,
Uh-huh. Thing you can't do
Uh,
anymore.
fucking,
Thing you can't do while we're here.
fighting.
Thing that we can no longer do while we're here.
I got great coping mechanisms when they're available.
Here, I'm going over some material that's a little easier to understand if you want to like sit
Oh,
next
am I
to me
too
while I read
stupid?
it. No, we just like, you wait, you can read.
I can read slow.
Well, yeah, it'll be easier for you because it's, not as boring as something.
I mean,
with a
you
bunch
can
of
read
text.
it
I can read it. That's a good point.
out loud,
Yeah, I can do that.
or do you want to be quiet?
If reading out loud helps you to stop kicking your legs, I can read out loud.
You know, like it when they kick my legs, it kicks faster.
Yeah, it bothers me so much that you seem uncomfortable.
He sits in the kind of more meditative lotus position. I don't know when we're gonna get to say this, so why'd you do it?
Jupe said it was okay too, and it seemed like a good option to break his concentration. I didn't really have any magic that could do it. I've taken some time, and I'm going to learn something just in case we have to do that again. But
I don't. It's not like you. Just because Jupe said do it, you went with it.
it wasn't just because Jupe said it. I've been thinking about it too. It was just I don't
Because
know.
he's cute.
He is cute, but I don't think that was why the thought came to mind. No.
Because we were desperate.
We
You were
needed to
pretty
show him
hurt.
that we could dig it a hat off, right? That was the goal here, was to prove that we can do what we need to do.
Yeah, we could do that without that. I figured.
Well, if you had a better way to do it, you could have done something.
I was. I did. A bit late. My bad.
Maybe I was too hasty, but I really didn't, feel like all of us not burning to death, freezing to death.
You know, you were real hurt. It's just. You're the good one.
Good one.
Yeah. Jupe's an asshole who'll kill everyone around him to survive. You're supposed to stop him.
Don't kill everyone to survive.
He'll do anything.
I don't know if that's true.
That's because you love him. You don't want to see the truth.
Maybe I just see more to it than you do.
Why do you attack Kohaku?
I have to sneeze 1 second. Oh god.
Sneezes.
Bless you in advance.
You said it after I sneezed, so fuck you.
Belated
For the
bless
next
you.
one.
Oh, okay, thank you.
They come in threes usually.
True.
You should see my mom when she sneezes. It's like if there's not at least 4, there's going to be 4.
Do her hair unroll when she sneezes?
Yeah, if she gets up into like the high, 7, 8 in a row, her hair just kind of starts to come undone. It's kind of funny.
She looks great with her hair down.
We're done talking.
Just trying to break the tension. Jupe won't listen to me. I don't think he'll listen to anyone but you. Just tell him maybe cut back. This is coming from me.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
Because you're better.
I don't know about being better, but thank you.
You're better. You're just not sure what to do.
That's very true. Yeah, I'm struggling with figuring out what to do with anything.
You don't get out much.
Well, no, I didn't used to get out much.
And
It's a
now
little
you're out
weird.
here. And you got a boyfriend or whatever Jupe is. Fuck buddy, project.
It's not a project, don't call him that.
Fuck buddy,
It's more than that, too.
husband.
We're not married. Your boyfriend was probably the accurate term. You can just stick with that one.
So he is your boyfriend.
Shut up. Yeah, I guess so. I think so. I hope so.
You hope so. Wasn't it clear?
I mean, I guess so. I still worry that sometimes he's just saying things to placate me. It's easier to not be alone.
I don't think he just wants. He thinks of something, and he remembers what Jupe told him when he first broke free from the whole stupor, where he turned red because Atropos was taken. I don't think he just doesn't want to be alone. I think he really likes you. I also think he's a meathead. Not as smart as he thinks he is.
I don't know. Doesn't meathead imply that he's like all muscles?
No, it's more like he's got ground beef in his head.
Where did he get that much ground beef?
All his weird thoughts about gravity and shit.
You think that's due to the ground beef?
Yeah,
Okay.
he talks about so much random shit. I'm pretty sure he makes up all of it. All of it.
He does. That's canon.
I'm sure the concept of gravity is entirely made up by Jupiter and not something that other people have observed.
Yeah, I ain't heard about anyone else talking about gravity except Jupiter.
Well, it's not the most interesting conversation topic to most people, so
Really?
maybe
The concept of down isn't interesting? Check this out. And he walks up, he like runs up the wall and ceiling and down the other side. Gravity isn't real, Alistair. He's full of shit. But he loves you. Fucking piece of shit.
Right. You still really haven't talked to him, have you?
About what?
About, you know, how he's been treating you.
He can't. I know
He
he's been
can't.
trying, but I don't know. If he's sincere, I'll feel it and he'll go when he knows he'll go. He's trying. I know he's trying. He's just... I don't know. I can't let go.
Sometimes trying is all we can do, and sometimes it's hard to let go. If we don't, you know, get his curse resolved, it's going to be impossible for me to let go. Don't tell him that, but
Boy, thank God I'm not there.
Well, yeah. He, like, kind of falters at that and starts fidgeting with his hands.
sorry.
thought
it's a
you
weird
was-
subject.
Well, I thought it was going to be good for you.
What's going to be good for me?
Him.
I mean, I think he is.
Do you feel good?
Generally, yeah. Right now, I feel a little guilty, but I feel like we did what we needed to.
We gave you permission, so it's fine.
Well, one consenting party of the two I probably should have asked, but
Well, you can make an apology letter about it, I think.
that might be better than me trying to talk in person. That's not a bad idea. It's a little cowardly, but
I mean, when he reads the letter and says you can come out, then you can say it to his face, right?
oh, you mean like right now? I thought you meant like hide for the next 8 hours.
I
and
don't think you
then-
can hide for the next 8 hours. This is his castle.
You want to bet I could probably hide for 8 hours?
Guards everywhere. I mean, you got spells. That's fair.
Right. I will be the hide and seek champion of Chalice, and no one will ever know.
You know what? Do it. Hide for 8 hours. I would.
No, I don't want to leave you guys here to deal with him alone.
I mean, you're gonna
could
hide in a
live with
room
myself.
anyway.
Well, yeah, but like, he'd obviously expect me to be in one of these 2 rooms, so I have to go hide someplace else.
I mean, you could
And
have
if I'm
left.
hiding some, I could
What does
have
he know?
left. He also might have like the ability to see invisible things. I didn't get to test that last fight.
Invisible.
He did run after exactly where I went, despite me being invisible. So that could have been coincidence, or he could just have
Well, you
seen
were-
me.
Bleeding all over the place. He stabbed you real good.
Yeah, invisibility doesn't really count for the blood you track, does it?
Mm.
You should fix that.
don't
Invisibility
think you were-
2 should make your blood invisible.
I don't think you were invisible, too. You just kind of hid behind a corner.
Did I not? I could have sworn I cast invisibility. It's a
I
blur.
don't remember.
The adrenaline's still here. I can't think of anything.
I was behind an ice wall when it happened, whatever you did, but, went behind a corner. Look,
I might have just ran. You might be right.
it's the whatever makes your heart go boopity whoop when you're fighting.
Ah, right.
You boopity booped all over the place. And I think you're calming down.
Yeah.
Want some drugs?
I don't know if it's the appropriate time for drugs. What do you got?
I got painkillers. I
Oh.
got rum. I got the good stuff.
No, you can't use that rum. Give me some. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I can't. Gives him some of this rum. It's in a water skin.
Just put it in a water skin and drink it straight here. I take a little bit of it, not very much, just enough to.
It's just cheap rum.
That
It's very
warmth.
watered down.
Ew.
It's like how people drank water back then. Oh, you want like actual alcohol? I got harder stuff.
I don't tend to drink it for the flavor. No.
What's some moonshine? Real hard stuff.
No,
It tastes like,
What does it taste like?
well, it tastes like a nun pissed on your face.
Jesus.
That's specific and gross. You know what? I think I'm good. I think I'll just keep reading.
All right. What's that one about?
I was sneezing again. What?
What's that thing you're reading about? Sneezy.
There's a few books in here on witches. They're, fiction, but sometimes you can find grains of truth in there.
I'll read one about how a witch gets, I don't know, completely spit roasted to death or something.
I don't know if he has any of those in here. It doesn't seem like
Oh,
his
right.
kind of book.
Any sort of witch death?
I don't know if there's going to be any sort of witch death.
Okay, a witch stubbing their toe. What did they do?
Well, they respond to the emotional stimuli by going completely batshit insane, and that's not the case for everyone, but
I mean, I
Emotional
die when
weakness
someone
seems
tries
to
to
be-
kiss me.
that's true.
No romance novels. No fighting.
No fighting. Are you okay?
We just came off a fight.
It doesn't stop you before. You come off one bender and gone straight on another one.
Well, I have a lot of demons. And I
No
usually
fighting.
got trophy when things don't help. I can talk to Trophy and not die. I can hug Trophy.
You can talk to me and not die.
I don't know. I can't real things.
What if I do something rude like spit on you and tell you to hug me? Does that let you hug
You're-
me?
You won't. I can't hug you with a boner.
Jesus.
All right.
I mean,
I'll keep
I can.
workshopping
I don't-
that. But
I don't think Jupiter appreciated. He's not a consenting party. You don't
it's
consent
true.
to a boner
I'll run it by him, and
unless you want a boner.
I more just want you to be able to get the hug that you need. The boner is just kind of,
How about? Oh no, that would give me a boner.
So, well, you think of something that won't give you a boner, and I'll keep reading.
Okay, that's really hard. Like a boner.
Like a boner, yeah.
Maybe you can read science, whatever books there are.
I could
Talk
read you
to
a-
me like I'm. Yeah, just treat me like I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. Treat me like I'm stupid.
Okay, I'll treat you. I'll teach you about gravity like you're stupid because you think it's not.
Gravity ain't real.
Try to find a book about gravity. It talks about gravity.
I bet she doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. And I bet if he does,
Probably
it's in the fiction section where gravity belongs.
Did you find a fictional book about gravity?
I'll be damned. I'll read, stay in the book about fictional gravity, and probably take psychic damage from saying gravity is fiction.
He has like the shittiest "I told you so" like personality.
Okay,
No
physics
grace.
damage. I'll be fine.
It's not. He's jumping on the cushion. It's not real. Jupe's full of shit.
I'm glad for having
was-
a good, productive timing here.
The theory was proposed, but it was frequently debunked by the existence of so many bizarre creatures that can hover and float and fly. Things like dragons, which which defy the laws of gravity, beholders and flumps and other such things. And so the theory was ultimately denounced as preposterous, even though much of the theory can be observed in day-to-day life by many creatures. Gravity
apples.
seems to almost apply selectively.
So gravity is a curse by the gods on specific creatures.
Most creatures,
Or a
aside
blessing.
from dragons, or a
Or a
blessing.
blessing.
Yeah.
I guess it does keep us from, floating away.
Wait, but wouldn't we want that?
Well, like, if you keep floating, you'll eventually leave the Earth's atmosphere and die.
Why?
Oh my god, I can't.
Why wouldn't we be able to go wherever we want?
Jupiter can explain that one.
No, he's full of shit. I need you to do it. He was the one that proposed it was real to begin with. He believes everything comes from balls.
Well, if you think about it, you came from balls, and I came from balls.
Well, yeah. Well, not gravity.
See, I thought you'd appreciate that joke more.
I mean, I like when you say balls. It's not the way you say it when you're around him.
Yeah, do you know what it sounds like when I'm around him?
Yeah.
I knew you guys were watching.
I mean, I got really big ears. I can hear an ant fart.
That's gross. I don't think I've ever heard an ant fart.
You're not the ones hearing them. What do you think I feel? Everyone's body functions. I can hear Nara's tummy rumbling right now.
Oh, poor Nara. I wish we could get something to eat.
I think he's got... I don't know if he's hungry or nervous. I think he's nervous.
So what are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to talk to this guard after I do a little healing, hand out some good berries. Is there...
You remember his name?
Oh, right, he had a name, didn't he? Jupe probably does. Jupe is great with people. I don't. Okay.
You don't remember my name?
You don't remember Mr. Backwards?
Miss Jeffrey Backwards?
Oh, right, Mr. Backwards. That's right.
Forget the silent J.
Jeffrey Backwards, specifically.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
does, have you experienced anything like this before? With the Queen?
Not personally, no.
Do you know, is there anything the Queen normally does to relax, to unwind, to feel safe, comfortable? Even a favorite food, a favorite drink?
Let me peruse my knowledge banks for a moment. Yes, a few things that I've heard are helpful. We have there's some music that can play. I'll fetch the court musician.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
And he'll go off and go and fetch somebody.
And then after that, I think Jupe is kind of just like, I don't know, he's just replaying the fight over and over. He's replaying what that transition looked like. He's just trying to commit it all to memory, to study it, to see if he can glean anything useful about the nature of hats, the nature of his hat. I don't think he's doing any sort of like studying here. He's just kind of dwelling on that.
Yeah. Do you want to do either like an insight check or like a arcana check?
I'm amazing at both of those.
Do you have any? I don't think Jupiter does, but if you have any lore skills that you feel are appropriate.
Not for this one. Double checking. Do I have a pre-roll? I don't.
Hopefully.
Oh. Alright, we'll go with this. Oh my god. Jupiter.
Would you roll like a 3?
A 2.
2.
Oh, damn.
You know, I'm going to burn inspiration on this one. There we go. That's a little better.
There you go. Much better.
Double.
Yeah, to ask the moon to help him understand people. Dumbass.
Hey, that was just inspiration.
Yeah, the moon.
On a 32, you start to think back on kind of the nature of hats and kind of what they are and how they affect people. The immediate thing that strikes you is that Alistair has talked at length with you guys about the nature of hats. He is very well studied in them and passed on a decent bit of knowledge about them. One thing that strikes you is that you are aware that pretty much all hats have some kind of like a will to them. They aren't like, but most of them aren't sentient, or at least that's not how they've ever been really described to you. Like they
Sure.
don't think or talk. They have a will in the same way that like the One Ring has a will
Right.
that it kind of influences people with, but it's not talking to. It doesn't talk to Frodo.
Right.
And it strikes you as very odd that it seemed very clear that this hat seemed to be very much have some kind of a personality and be very self-aware and sentient and was at least able to communicate. The other thing that strikes you as very different about it is that up until this point, pretty much every hat that you guys have seen, they all take on a form that is almost kind of like an idealization of the wearer. Even very, very early on with Ketchy the barmaid,
Right.
you guys saw her as you didn't really like get to know her or talk to her or anything, but you saw a couple of brief interactions of somebody who was kind of stuck in a shitty situation, being taken advantage of, and probably felt pretty isolated and just stuck. And her hat was kind of like a pirate hat, and it gave her this big pirate outfit and regalia, and in a lot of ways, piracy and like the idea of a pirate is this idea of a grand adventure and freedom and going
yeah.
out into the open sea, and it's could be a very like clear idolization of like a future that felt like unattainable. And the same goes for Talon. She idolized her father, who was a great knight, and her hat is this knight's helmet that gave her this brilliant red knight's armor, and is giving her a bunch of power and idolization, kind of like letting her achieve this idolized vision of herself.
Right.
Similar, Rin, her hat is has kind of a like big headdress, like, and is very kind of indicative of like an empress. So all of them tend to like, they seem to not really like prey on, but take advantage of that that ideal self that people want to kind of attain.
For sure. They're preying on wants and needs.
Yeah. And they kind of like, you know, it's like a devil's wish kind of thing where you're preying on that. But with this one, it very much was not. Like the form that you guys saw kind of briefly silhouetted over top of Snow was clearly something that was formed out of like really traumatic and graphic events, and it seemed to almost be kind of preying on the opposite. It was like almost embodying like a deep moment of vulnerability and weakness.
And remind me, the Queen has said that they are not wearing a hat, or that they don't have a hat at all?
Just that they aren't wearing it currently.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that with Jupiter's just understanding in general, that's the stuff that kind of like really stands out to you, is that this thing, it seems very much more like sentient and aware, and is actively like trying to prey on something else because for whatever reason, whether it's because actually you got a 32. I think one of the things that strikes you is that Snow is very kind of like apathetic isn't quite the right word, but they're really flat. Like they don't have a ton of emotional response.
Correct.
And I think because of that, they probably don't have a very like extreme like desire for a better self-image. Like they don't have a ton of wants, and so this hat can't really prey on that. So it's preying on the strongest emotional response that it can. And because this hat is much more sentient, it is able to be much more aggressive about that.
Okay. Jupe replays it over. He mulls over all of that. Who's in here with me? Kohaku, Sheesh, and Nara.
So hi, Philo. Are you in here? I heard someone come in.
Okay, good to hear.
Hi.
I'm like a quarter of the way here.
How's your tummy?
Oh no. I hope you feel better.
Thanks. I've been sick since Wednesday.
Oh no.
Oh.
Eventually, I
Sorry.
think Jupe kind of just speaks up quietly. I don't think that was a normal hat we're dealing with. And I'm not sure that pissing it off was a good idea.
I've not seen a normal hat.
That's true. I've never encountered or even heard of a hat that was sapient. If that even was a hat at all. I'm not entirely convinced that it wasn't something else.
What else would it be?
Demons? Angels? I don't know. The world has many spirits in it.
The queen seems to think it's a hat.
The Queen does seem to think it's a hat. Although again, the Queen says that he's not wearing a hat. I almost wonder if perhaps the Queen is a pawn for whatever is wearing the hat. I kind of like look over to the garden, make sure that either that wasn't heard or I put on a guilty look real quick.
Yeah, they're currently fetching the musician. So you guys have a moment of the piece to discuss.
Right. I don't know, something just doesn't add up. I gotta say, I suppose I feel a little bit more confident that we can take on the Red Queen. Although it occurs to me that everyone I know who's taken on a hat voluntarily has done it in a moment of weakness. They've done it to cover grief. And I'm a little worried what happens when we take the hat away.
Oh, well, you'll find no shortage of people who've been, whose lives have been completely destroyed by the scourge of opium on the streets. Taking it away, they'll for sure claim that it's ruining their life. They use it to cope. It doesn't matter what they went into, but it's destroying them. Do you know what I mean?
You're
Either
correct,
it's
yeah.
causing them, it's destroying them, or it's causing them to destroy others. You take it away. No one should be trusted with god-level powers.
Right. And in the
Said
Red
the
Queen's
gods.
in the Red Queen's case, it's very much not just herself that would hurt. Her coping is hurting hundreds, thousands. Still, it doesn't feel great.
Ask yourself whether in the next life will the Red Queen's spirit thank you for what you've done. I think she would.
Jupe smiles a little bit. It's weak, it's a little forced, but he does like that. Yeah, okay. Assuming that we're not about to be executed by the White Queen when he wakes up.
We've proven today. The only thing we've proven today is that he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. And he just sits kind of quietly, replaying the fight over and over.
Hmm.
Eventually, the Jeffrey Bachwards comes back, and he's accompanied by what appears to be a essentially just like a giant. I shouldn't say giant, a regular-sized, but as a result, very large polar bear, who appears to just be like truly just a regular polar bear, but they are standing on two legs. They're standing up as if bipedal.
Perfect.
And they have a what looks like a ridiculously small loot comparatively, though is a regular sized loot. They come up, kind of sit down on their kind of back haunches, that kind of bear squat, and sit up and begin strumming the lute with like a single claw.
Amazing.
Someone playing music out there? He looks up.
The spirit. Show him respect.
Is it just no, it's a spirit in here?
What kind of spirit is it, Ali?
It looks like a polar bear. Which is, like a regular bear, but it's white and bigger. Think they're bigger?
I think it's called an albino.
No, it's only an albino if it has no pigment. If you look at its paws, they're
What
not
do
like
pigs have to do with it?
Oh, that got me.
Are they hot?
I mean, it's covered in fur, and
So are
it's kind of
you.
warm in here, but it's like thick, like winter fur, though. I like comb out the thick layers so I don't die.
Where do you keep it?
What do you mean, where do I keep it? I throw it away. Am I supposed to keep
Why?
all of
Yeah, your fur's really soft. You can make a pillow out of it.
Hey, I'll make a pillow out of my body hair for you. That'll make you happy.
Maybe he'll make a coat for Jupe so we can have some.
But it'd be kind of cute and kind of creepy at the same time.
I'll make sure he has stripes too.
Oh, then I'd have to keep the fur of each color separate. That sounds like a huge pain in the butt. Anyway, we'll probably keep talking forever if they let us. So,
That bear can talk, can it?
oh, is it a talking bear? That explains why it's holding the
Bear.
loot.
Talk.
Shrugs. Does the bear play, right? Does it sing?
He doesn't sing. Or at least you don't hear him singing currently.
What are we doing in here? Is he awake yet? Oh,
No, not yet.
do you think he's gonna kill me when he wakes up? Or...
I sure hope not. This is
The only thing we've proven with this adventure is that he is not capable of it. By the way, when the polar bear finishes their song, I'm going to tip them a gold.
Yeah, they take it very gingerly with two claws and put it in a little like knapsack that they have at their side. Thank you.
You do talk.
Bless me.
Hey, you want to get out of here?
I'm working currently.
Okay. Well, when do you get off?
Few hours? I might be here kind of late depending if the queen needs me or not.
Okay, I'll bother you while you're working. Cool tunes.
Thank you. He goes back to playing. And he does start to sing, but when singing is kind of a strange term for it, it's kind of like if Chewbacca was singing opera.
Chewbacca. Chewbacca. Never mind. Neither of those were.
There's something there.
Ah, it's the voice of a yokel angel.
Unless there's anything else you guys want to discuss, we can jump ahead.
eh,
I think these two doors are locked, right?
At least this door is locked. This door is not locked.
You looking for the privy, Nara?
Yeah, looking for the bathroom.
No, I'll come with.
Well, you don't find a bathroom, but you do find what appears to be just like a little office space.
That's not a privy.
Is there anything on the desk or anything that's in like plain sight that catches the eye?
Yeah, there's an open envelope and there's like a wax seal, and there seems to be like a letter that's laid out.
Well, maybe there's another door here. Maybe there's the bathroom's connected to the office.
You
Just
take a-
glances down at the letter.
thank
Voice
God
thrown
somebody's snooping. God bless you.
You take a look. It's unfortunately not as like groundbreaking as you might have hoped, but you do find what appears to be a letter of invitation to the party previously.
Oh, okay.
When we crashed.
Yeah. What else would you find here?
Thousands of gold.
just
Sort of-
laying there for the taking.
Heck yeah.
Click space to collect all the loot from this chest.
You do find a couple of paper birds.
Used?
No. Just-
Okay. I'll leave this be. I'm gonna try and steal from the queen. Yeah, that would just come in and out real quick. You probably wouldn't stay too long.
Did you go in the corner or what?
Though I was trying to find it. Maybe it was conjoined. Maybe there's a bathroom in the office.
If you're looking for the bathroom, I could escort you.
Please.
Sure. Very much appreciate it.
Of course. Jeffrey Buckwards will escort you guys down to through the castle to one of the bathrooms. And you guys see that the place is kind of like a buzz now. It seems word has kind of gotten out about an incident happening, and there's a couple of like rumors are starting to spread between the various staff. And as you guys pass, they all like hush and shrink away and start to mutter to themselves. But is yeah.
I don't pay attention to them, but my ear like wiggles every time they start whispering to each other. Stomping down the hall like he owns it after the guard. So, Jeff. Single, huh?
Unfortunately,
You looking?
I do have my eyes on someone very special.
They pretty?
Extremely.
Are you...
Like a sunrise.
Oh. Does Sunrise have big tits or a butt?
He eyes you very strangely for a moment.
Alright, you don't do that here. I'm sorry. Does this sunrise like sunsets? Does it go down?
I hope so.
Same. What about moons?
There's
You
no
like
beauty
moons?
without the inevitability of death.
Ah!
Is that not what you were talking about?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Sorry, I'm feeling very existential.
That's okay. You just saw a big old vagina monster. You saw that, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
That doesn't happen a lot.
No, it certainly does not.
Were you, like, repulsed by the vaginas?
Less than I'd hoped. Like, to be clear, still quite repulsed, but
Yeah, they're vagina-like, but not really vaginas.
right, and they were quite distressed, and I feel terrible for them. But
They were, like, quivering.
awful. Terrible. Anyways, we should get back to your friends before anything else happens.
Oh, they had
Think-
perfume in that bathroom.
Yes, it's complimentary. Please feel free to take some.
Okay. He just kind of grabs some, like, perfume. He sniffs it. It's just like winter mint? What is this?
Yeah.
Spritzes himself liberally. Starts sneezing. It feels cold. And it's dry.
Meanwhile, back upstairs. Alistair, give me a witch check. Give me a hat check.
Okay.
Hat check. Do you think their hat is actually very, very small, like a pin?
Oh man, Ellie, that's like a 5. Let me check on my flash if I have. Yeah, I'll use 1. This seems important. So we'll make it a 26 instead of a 20.
Okay. On 26, you recall that there was a story, you read a historical account a while back that there was a witch that for a long time was believed to have a familiar, not a familiar in the sense of like goldfish, but in the way that Stain is Talen's familiar and Yokimaru is Rid's familiar, and sort of a pact relationship sort of familiar.
Right.
And the two of them were often seen together, and so the people always believed that the two had just this pact, witch familiar relationship and dynamic. And it wasn't until they were eventually kind of captured and slain that they discovered that the what they had believed to be the familiar was actually the witch, and who they thought was the witch was actually the hat, which had kind of been able to conjure essentially an artificial body magically. And at the time, it had, by that point, fully enthralled the actual witch in question, and so they were essentially just a thrall to this hat. And the hat is probably the only instance of that Alistair has read about of a like fully sentient and aware hat. You don't get the sense that that's quite what's happening here. You feel fairly confident that it's actually possibly the opposite. You are 100% confident that this is in fact Snow because you guys knocked off the hat, and you're very positive that you did, and you saw the facsimile of it disintegrate temporarily. You imagine that has, at least for a brief time, kind of like severed their. It hasn't like severed their connection to the hat, but it has at least stemmed the flow of magic. So you're not entirely sure how long, but at least for the time being, you don't think that Snow has access to their magic.
Damn, okay. I don't think Snow will have access to their magic when they wake up. We saw the hat come off.
Let me clarify, just to make sure.
Yeah.
They won't have access to any magic granted by their
From
hat.
the hat.
If they have magic naturally, then they might have access to that still.
Right.
Or any other like innate abilities, but at the very least, a lot of their like very powerful stuff that they were doing, they won't be able to have access to.
Right.
Snow isn't a sorcerer, right?
Definitely use sorcery points at some point, I think.
And Alistair would be aware that a lot of powerful hats will grant sorceress abilities, some magic.
Okay. So that was probably from the
Spoiler
hat.
alert! It's my way of balancing a single powerful spellcaster against 6 people.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So they'll probably have any like magic they have innately, but anything from the hat, I don't think they'll have access to.
That's good, I guess. Do you have any idea what this hat is? I was just telling Kawaku I've never heard of a sentient hat. I was almost curious if this is more of a possession or something along those lines?
I read an account of basically what someone thought was the witch was actually the familiar to the hat. Basically, the hat had given itself a fake body, and people thought that was the witch, but the witch was actually the familiar, kind of like, Stain and Buzz to Talon, that sort of thing.
Huh.
I don't think that's the case here. I'm pretty sure this is Snow. Not quite sure what the hat is, how it is involved in all this.
Bizarre. I'm hoping that maybe we can get some answers, but I also kind of fear that when they wake up, we might be shooed out of here quickly, and then the deal's off.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too. Like, I was supposed to get to look at the hat, but that was, after we got the other hat, I think.
Right.
So,
I hope we didn't take this too far.
I hope not too. I mean, we needed to prove we could get a hat off of a witch, and I feel like we did that.
Right. I guess we'll find out when he wakes up.
Yeah. I might not be in this room when he does, just in case he immediately orders me to be executed or something.
Yeah, that's probably wise. We're trying to make sure that he's as, safe and comfortable as he can be when he wakes up.
Having me in here probably wouldn't be the best for that.
Yeah, if we take a lot of flack for this, I encourage you to do it. It wasn't just you.
Well, I ultimately made the decision too. But thanks.
This whole conversation is being had over the soft, dulcet tones of Chewbacca.
True.
Andrea Bocelli songs, a song by
Sung by
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
The sound of Mervain music. It's
Mervain and Bear
Mervain.
music.
Mervain Bear
Bear
music.
throat singing.
Bear
Bear
throat.
throat singing. Even better.
Should that come to pass, Allie, it'll be the second time you've been unjustly punished for the actions of the White Queen.
That's true.
Myself included.
That you know of.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Does that mean
Here,
you're even?
here, helpless and asleep, lies what represents the actual end of my life, and I can do nothing about it.
It's crazy to think we could just shove a knife in him right now.
I
We
don't
know.
shouldn't, but
know if we should discuss that.
I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying that we could do it, and the fact that we're not doing it is a good.
That's
I'll
true.
shut up. I'm gonna go in the other room now.
You're right. Hopefully the thought crosses his mind as well when he wakes up.
On the way back, Stain holds Nara's hand. Did you wash your hand, big guy?
Yeah?
I didn't.
Oh my god.
Why?
I hate it here.
Because
Can I go
I'm
home.
bad.
Why would he need to wash his hand? You were the one holding it.
Okay. Well, this is fine.
My actual worst nightmare.
Nara doesn't recoil. He just swats the hand away. It's like, you're no fun. He continues walking forward.
Love is when you hold their hand even though they don't wash it.
What do you mean? He was the one that aimed for me.
Love doesn't exist for me.
Yeah.
You don't just sneakily cast Presto on your partner's hand every time before you catch it.
Yeah. Stain, I love where your heart's at, but I barked up that tree and it's not Not gonna work out.
It's fun to play anyway.
No, Drake actually makes me sanitize both hands before I hold his every time.
It also makes you sanitize your lips before you make out.
I mean,
Just
as
rub
you
some
should. That's
Germex on there
gross.
for
Yeah.
me.
Very tasty lip balm.
I gotta
Dude.
wear the lip cover.
You gotta brush those teeth right beforehand. It's important.
Oh, it's really fun when you kiss someone after they just brushed.
You guys see the
Minty.
lip condom, right?
Yeah.
The most condom?
A water balloon over my tongue, yeah.
The lip condom, yeah.
No, that's the one Robin had in Batman and Robin, where he kissed Poison Ivy and it protected him from her pheromones and her poisonous kiss. Because he had the rubber lips. Did anyone see that movie?
Are the
Yeah.
writers aware that pheromones are like they're an animalistic trait, not a plant trait?
Well, she has pheromones, but also her lips are toxic, which is the thing it prevented him from getting.
Okay. All right.
Listen, Poison Ivy has a specific power set.
Okay.
The Uma Thurman version is not my favorite. Okay.
I don't know if they were thinking about pheromones, but I think they were trying to think of whatever the scent that flowers give off to attract like
Like
birds
insects.
and insects and stuff.
Yeah. I remember her like blowing on her palm or whatever and getting these pollen shits in Batman and Robin's noses.
Let's not look for logic in the plot of Batman and Robin.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze. That's rad. No questions.
Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Let's kick some ice.
Can we watch that movie at some point?
Let's watch that
Yeah.
movie.
I haven't
I've
seen
not
it in
seen
so
it.
long.
Joel
not seen any
Schumacher
of
is a
Batman.
gay genius.
So, anyways, yeah, you guys have a couple discussions. Alistair, eventually you return to the study, and Snow will begin to wake up. I need somebody to roll a d20 plus
To the
11.
luck roll?
No, this is a wisdom save.
Oh.
hell
Oh, he
yeah.
finally
Beautiful.
did it for once.
Oh, thank luck. I'm going back in the
I've
study.
never been more proud of myself.
Ali, sniff.
Sniff what?
Snow will sit up, listening to the music playing. Kind of looks around, sees the three of you kind of sitting off to the side.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
I think we may have crossed a line in our trial combat. Are you okay?
I think so.
Do you remember any of what happened?
Only a little bit.
We're all very sorry. I think in our attempt to break your concentration, we stumbled onto something a little terrifying, actually. Do you know what that thing was that spoke to us?
What thing?
I see.
Your hat, I assume.
Oh. My apologies. He is unpleasant. And Snow does kind of reach up and feels that the hat is not there. Then you were successful in disarming me.
Yeah. I guess mission accomplished. I feel a little more confident that we can help the Red Queen.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
it was an utter failure. We did not rob, or we did not divest the White Queen of their hats. We defeated them in combat, but the hat remains elusive. That's a failure.
Jack is a special case. I think you should consider this a success, for what it's worth.
Jack. The hat has a name.
That's what I've been calling him.
Oh
I
my
see.
God, it's Jack Frost.
It's Jack Frost, yeah.
Huh.
Jack Nicholson.
Snow miser.
Fun fact: Jack is synonymous with a knave, which is synonymous with a knight's
True.
assistant.
That's true. That's what the J in cards is for. Jack.
Right.
We all know this.
For
Everybody
sure.
knows this.
I thought it was Joker.
I did etymology in reverse there in my head for a second. To tell everybody
It's-
something
well,
that
that-
everyone already knows.
Did
That's
you know-
kind of true, but the Jack is synonymous with knave because of the cards. So it's like the etymology is a little bit backwards there.
Right,
It goes
right.
forward then backwards again.
Did
Yeah.
you know there's
They
a little
couldn't-
letter on the Jack suit of each card?
And they couldn't
Jack.
use.
That J stands for Jack.
Whoa!
I legit thought the Jack card just meant a dude named Jack, and I didn't know
No.
why.
It's because they couldn't use knave because they couldn't have
Right
two
out of
Ks.
K, yeah.
They have a Joker. That's a J too.
That's true.
Joker's it's like a late addition to card.
That's also true.
It also just
What the updated cards?
It's like how in the latest updated chess they added en passant. The latest patch notes in the 1800s.
The
I think
Jokers are just in the deck to replace cards that are damaged or lost.
Correct.
Yeah.
chess is really going to change when they start adding flying unit.
Yeah.
Well, the knight kind of already.
That flies.
Knight flies, yeah.
Knights on
Um,
griffins, huh?
It hops.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what knights do on their horses. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind my asking, how did you come across Jack? How did you come into possession? Working with it? I don't know if possession is the right word. It doesn't seem like an it at all.
It was many, many years ago at this point. I'm going to pull up my notes so that I make sure that I get all these names correct.
Yeah.
Who possesses whom? That's what I want to know.
You need to learn that a healthy relationship, no one possesses anybody.
Unless they're
I
into
don't
it.
think hats.
Unless they're
I don't
into
think
it.
they do.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want a healthy relationship. I want a hot one.
I don't think we're gonna find healthy relationships among hats.
I've worn a lot of people. They don't complain.
Many, many years ago, my sister and I were. They would have said servants, but we were slaves to Baron Marlin.
I looked at Allie. Do you know Baron Marlin?
Allie's up there.
Oh shit, he's
I'm in
right.
the other room.
Right. Okay, I'll just remember that. Baron Marlin.
I think he's cool, Ali. You can go out. Permission to smack your butt to get you go out.
Just open the door and I could go out, but
I want to smack your butt.
sure, permission to smack my butt.
Nice. He smacks. Got that sportsman. Get out there, champ.
Give me an attack roll.
Thanks, coach.
Okay.
I
so
don't
the
know if I like that.
The two of you were servants for Marlin. Then what?
He and much of his family were not kind to us. That's also where we met our other sister, Queen of Hearts. This went on for many years. My memories of those days get a little fuzzy. But there was one night during a party when time seemed to stop. When I came to, Jack was with me, and everyone else was dead or worse.
I see.
except for my sisters.
I've been present for a similar occasion. While time was frozen, it's very likely that a creature that we've called the Mad Hatter gave you that hat, forced it upon you, and used it to, or allowed it to control you violently.
It seems quite likely, though I can't confirm.
Was it always capable of thought, of speech, or did that develop later?
I believe so, though they didn't make that known for quite some time.
I see. And how did your how did your sister come across her hat?
It was at the same time. We all received them simultaneously.
I see. That's unusual. You don't need to answer this if this is not something you want to talk about, but we've noticed a trend with hats. They're often given to people who are anywhere from mildly discontent to in great distress, emotional turmoil. Were the three of you experiencing anything unusual leading up to this?
I feel that unusual might be subjective.
It is.
At the time, at the time, my sister, the Queen of Hearts, she had fallen in love with Baron Marlin's son, Albert Marlin.
Am I familiar with the Marlins now that I'm in the room?
Possibly. Quite likely. Give me a history check. Yes. Prior to the Queen's taking over and usurping, the Marlins were very high up, like socially in the like hierarchy of Merbay.
Okay.
They were at the time. Merbay was kind of like a. There's a proper term for it that I don't know because I'm not a politician. But Merbay was essentially sort of like a vassal state of Tyriku.
Yeah, you got it right.
Is that right? Oh, cool.
That's right, vassal state, yeah.
Cool. Then, yeah, and the Marlins were essentially the ruling family under the Emperor.
Okay. Interesting.
At the time, Duchess Desiree did not approve of this, so she, one night before, she took my sister away to speak with her and shoved her face into the fire. She was left horribly disfigured, and Albert's relationship with her was ended.
Right.
The mask makes sense now.
After that, some time had passed before Albert was to remarry. It was the wedding party that night that the events occurred.
This certainly explains a lot, for her at least. That sounds like the but it's up around the other hats. How about the other two of you?
We were never treated particularly kindly. Rose, in particular, was often bullied by not just the other staff, but all of the other people in the castle. The many nobles.
Does Jupe get the impression... How do I put this? It seems obvious to me out of character that the White Queen probably also experienced something traumatic around this time, but simply doesn't want to talk about it. Does Jupe also get that vibe?
You could give me an insight check. I think the vibe that Jupe gets is that the experiences that the White Queen, and probably also just from how kind of vague they're being about the Red Queen, is that a lot of their like traumatic experiences were not. It wasn't kind of like a one and done thing. This was a very prolonged. Like they spent years being very severely abused.
That makes sense. Gotcha.
And it all just ended up like culminating and exploding at this one moment. But it wasn't something where they just had like were super vulnerable at one precise moment that was perfectly timed. This was something that was built up for a very long time.
Okay, gotcha. I thank you for telling us. We're still trying to learn how these things operate so that we can be better at helping people out of them. I'm very sorry you experienced all that.
You weren't responsible, and I appreciate your sympathy and your assistance.
No, but if we only helped other people when we were responsible for their suffering, we wouldn't be human.
Although if we are responsible for someone's suffering, we are obligated to help them.
True. The point in all of this is that I think we have learned today that we can probably help your sister out of her hat. But I want to make sure that when that happens, we're not going to be opening up some old well of pain without having some sort of a backup, comfort, a safety net.
I see.
To be clear, I said that with the intention to be extremely poignant.
Right.
As that happens, Alistair, you start to come in, and Snow kind of takes a look back, and there is this, like, they kind of wince, like, you can see them getting, like, a really bad migraine.
Oh, I can just stay back here. Sorry.
It's a natural reaction to feeling guilt.
Wait, who's feeling guilt?
But isn't Snow the one with the headache?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? But why would Snow feel guilty about anything?
Because I just said something about helping people if we're the cause of their misery.
Oh.
They're the cause of my misery. You see what I'm... And then I said it was very poignant. Well, anyway, never mind.
Maybe he doesn't think he's the cause of your injury.
Trying to be subtle.
Well, too subtle.
He doesn't know that you're suffering, too.
Crap!
Guy doesn't know who you are.
Well, he knows who you are. He just doesn't know that you've been banished from Kosetsu because of that.
Wasn't even technically them that caused the explosion. But Stain doesn't know it, so he can't say nothing.
I think I've made it about as obvious as I'm willing to make it. That's okay.
Does someone need a purse, Kobold?
I'm quite all right.
Does anybody else have anything that we should ask about while we can? I think we've learned enough that we can probably start planning to take the Red Queen's hat.
When's she most vulnerable? When is a time where she has the least amount of guards around her? Is it good to do it while she's asleep, for example?
The guards don't sleep, so there will likely be guards regardless.
Right.
Bypassing the guards is likely not worth considering. It would be best to plan to encounter them. Make that a part of your preparation.
Okay. Oh, we might be prying a little here, but we noticed that during the eclipse, all of the guards stopped functioning for about a minute. Do you know why? Is that related to... Are they powered by magic flowing from the moons?
It's quite likely that they are.
Okay. Do you know how long it is until we get another eclipse like that?
It'll likely be a while.
49 years.
It won't be that long.
12 years.
Longer than you've got.
Right. Right. Okay.
Coincidentally, tomorrow.
Wouldn't that be convenient?
That would sure be nice.
Bit too far to make it, though.
Do we know if the Red Queen has any, plans for a commute outside of her castle?
Her poor horses.
Thought she rode flamingos.
I don't know what she rides. We ride flamingos.
Let me see if there's any events coming up that you would be away for.
Would have to be soon. I think we're on a 7th month timeline.
Yeah, she probably doesn't get out of the castle that much.
It would be several weeks away, but it's likely that she would be away on the night of the 22nd. That is the night parade of 100 demons.
The what?
That's the title.
That sounds fun.
The night parade of 100 demons.
Oh, they happen here, too?
Yes.
Do I know what this is?
Possibly for Jupiter. Kohaku, absolutely would.
I only know about Tarikan culture.
Yeah, it's a Tarikan event.
Oh, then I know all about it, yeah.
Yeah,
I bet the
essentially
worst.
at night, once a year, in Waning Aestus, essentially hundreds of spirits will start to flood the streets of Tarikian cities in a large kind of procession parade, as many of these spirits kind of move on to the afterlife and that sort of thing. The event varies from location to location. Sometimes it's like a very orderly procession, and sometimes it's just like kind of like a riotous, chaotic event. So people have various mixed feelings from kind of town to town based about it. But yeah, in general, like everyone who is living and any material beings and living beings will stay inside during this event, and the streets essentially get flooded by spirits for a few hours.
Yeah, I explain all that, and then I explain. So it's a fun ceremony, and it gives demons a chance to rejoin the wheel.
Okay. And how far off was this again? Is that a couple of weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's currently the 3rd, and it will be happening on the 22nd, so about 3 weeks.
I'm surprised they celebrated Merveille.
We tend to not. There aren't many spirits here, so it doesn't happen very often. But it does. It was still an event that was celebrated and known to us from back when we were a vassal state of Tariku.
It seems like it's probably a good opportunity. 2 weeks isn't
Possibly.
too long to wait.
It's possible she may travel to the mainland during this time.
If the purpose of this festival is also for evil spirits to potentially rejoin the wheel, as you put it, maybe this is also a very good opportunity to exorcise some of those demons. Metaphorically, maybe, although I am not entirely sure if it's just that.
I mean, if it's a parade, they're already doing plenty of walking.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned that during an outing, when a noble leaves the safety of their castle, they take the highest precautions. I assume their security will be higher than ever, as opposed to attacking them in their home turf, where they have the home field advantage, but we have the element of surprise.
It is true.
Quite likely.
The amount of chess pieces would be finite if we got her away from the castle, though. At the castle, let's be where the most of them were at.
Then again, are we concerned about the chess pieces too much? So, for example, do we? Very well.
They hurt.
The other benefit of her being away would be that her connection to the chess pieces is somewhat limited in distance. So if she was away, she wouldn't be able to have them go on a rampage in the city.
I really like the idea of attacking her away from the city then, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
How far should we wait?
Lower collateral too.
It would drastically lower any collateral unless you all act remarkably quickly.
The point I was trying to get to is it might be possible, if the chess pieces are controlled by the power of the Red Queen's hat, that a surgical precision strike on the Queen to remove her hat as quickly as possible could remove all of the knights from play instantly.
That is true.
Stinscoffs. Have you seen our group? We ain't done nothing surgical. We're gonna shit in it. We're gonna shit really fast and messy.
I think
I just don't want to take a dump in the entire city when we do it.
so. I think ultimately the crux of this decision is what is her security normally like in her castle versus what is her security like when she travels.
We've seen what it looks like in the castle. They appear almost immediately.
Yeah, they were kind of everywhere. There's no way. I mean, that was our closest thing to a surgical strike.
The best time was the eclipse. That's done. Now we gotta do it hard and messy, the way I like it.
While traveling, she will almost certainly be accompanied by Jabber,
By who?
Which one's Jabber?
the Jabberwocky.
Oh, what do
Is
you
that?
know about
What is that?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
We fought that thing like 2 times now.
I don't think we've ever heard his name.
I think you guys had.
Did it say it? I don't
I
know.
think Alistair like did a history check and knew what
Yeah.
it was.
He screamed, Jabberwocky! Jabber! Or I've seen that thing around town.
Yes, it's it was a creature that we had purchased.
Who'd you buy it from?
Hey, how do we kill it?
We purchased it from a unsavory group. They offered some assistance in exchange for some of my sister's guards.
What was the group?
Let me double check their name.
Savvy. Seen them.
It's been so long. They call themselves the Harbingers of Night.
Is that the group that's after Nara?
Yes.
Dragons, yeah.
Well, how do we kill it?
When we first said Jabberwock, I thought it was the mountain goat that causes avalanches when we were walking through.
Oh, great.
It's a different thing. That's a legendary creature beyond the Jabberwock.
I believe we were told that the only thing that could slay it was a special blade called the Vorpal Blade.
Where do we get one of those?
That I'm uncertain of.
Oh, okay.
Vorpal Blade.
We'll just have to avoid it then, huh?
Avoid it or find some other means of restraining it. I think we proved today that we can defeat things without necessarily destroying them. Or even harming
I
them.
don't think that's very responsive to kissing.
No, but the point of this is that everything else has something. There's some method that would work.
Yeah, well, let me face it, what, how many times? A lot of those times I weren't even there.
Twice?
Was it only twice?
I think it's been twice.
Let's see. Once in the Crystal Cave, or in the mines rather, and once in town, I feel.
And then you saw it with the queens, and that was it. But
Yeah.
you didn't fight it.
Yeah. I think those were Stein all 3 times, actually. I think Stein saw it with the queen. And, well, do you have an answer to those 2 times?
No, not yet.
Then it's immortal undefeatable, and we just avoid it.
You're right. Let's go straight for the
To
queen.
be fair, you guys do recall that, like, it didn't seem complete. So, you guys were still able to hurt it to a point where it
Ran away.
either fucked off or, like, it couldn't fight back.
Right.
So we just kind of disable it.
Right.
It can't die, but it's fucked up.
Okay, well, it's a decent plan.
Yes. Yes, when we purchased it, the ritual to summon it was supposedly failed. They were missing some ingredient. So it's not quite as resilient as it could have been or has been in past centuries.
This thing can be summoned.
Yes.
It's not like a real thing.
The next question is, how does this compare to the guard at her castle, which we've already seen? Would we rather fight all of those pieces, or would we rather subdue the Jabberwocky?
We still need to take into account the fact that she can't mobilize the army if she's away.
Right, that is a big selling point. If we fail, which is something we should account for, If we fail while she's away, she won't be able to immediately exact vengeance, and perhaps she will have cooled down by the time she gets home. If we fail
She
while
also
she's
can't
there,
threaten us.
if we fail at her home, she'll just instinctively cause a tantrum. That's how she behaves. I don't want other people to be our collateral.
She can also literally just threaten us
True.
while she's at home. Like, hey, cut that out, I'll kill everyone here.
True.
Dinah's not at risk unless she like puts her in a backpack and takes her with her.
Imagine Dinah's head sticking out of a backpack and she's like, oh dear, we're going on a trip.
Yeah.
I get to see the sun again. Ooh. So soon?
And Ellie also brings up another good point. Waiting a couple of weeks would give us a chance to recharge a bit. That fight was a lot more exhausting than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to a little bit of time to recharge. Picks up some magic items.
Keep in mind, this plan does involve us disrupting a holy ritual.
That's true. I don't know much about the ritual. What could happen there? What are the risks?
Angering a bunch of yokai. Damaging our own karma.
What if we make them attack her?
It's not really like. It's not exactly like a ritual, but you know there is like a social decorum with it. So yeah,
Mhm.
you could definitely like piss off a lot of spirits if, assuming, and I want to be very clear, the parade is at night. Like it starts after the sun goes down. So if you do this prior to that,
Sure.
you'll be fine.
So we gotta wait for her to get far enough that her effect of the town is minimal before sundown, and we gotta be wary of the Jabberwock.
Right, we catch her on the road.
Jabber.
Where's the festival
Ambush.
held?
I'm assuming every single town is going to have their own like little version of the festival, but the one the Queen's going to is what you're asking, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much every town will have one. They will mention that likely be
Oh,
let's see here.
That's a great point to ambush her, I guess.
So it will be on the coast by what was known as the Boar Province. I would need to ask her directly to know what city or town she was planning to travel to.
wait. She's traveling all the way to Tyriku?
Yes, there aren't enough spirits here in Merve, so she would likely head to Tyriku.
By ship?
Very likely.
That sounds ideal.
That's a plan.
Yeah.
Then we have 2 weeks to get a ship.
2 weeks to get a ship. We can
Oh,
do
do
that.
we get to be pirates?
We get to be pirates.
Or we can just pick the ship she's on and hide in the underneath.
Sure, we could
We
try
want to be
stowaways.
pirates. You want to be stowaways. Okay, one of these plans is really cool. The other one's kind of lame. So
Jupe's already a pirate all the time, and he sucks.
I'm not a pirate.
Sure.
But pirate.
We're
Do you know the
merchants.
pirate?
We are predatorized. We're predated upon by pirates.
Yeah, that's what you guys do, right? Merchants are all predators.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. But yes, we are, but sometimes there's a bigger predator, and in this case, the bigger predator is the pirates.
See, I thought he was making a booty joke.
It could be. I don't think he bottoms a lot.
It's not going to
Well,
work.
maybe he
Not falling for
does.
this. Not falling for this. You want to know, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I definitely don't know.
It's a mystery to everyone.
Real big mystery.
Okay, we have a plan. We have 2 weeks to get a ship, or find a plan to stow away.
Your Highness, surely you may have must have some resources that could help us. Perhaps a ship.
I feel like we've asked a lot already.
I unfortunately don't have a ship. Callus is quite inland,
Landlocked, yeah.
but there would likely be ships over at Seaside. It's one of the only ports here.
Jupiter,
That
when
or
does
Wits End, but Wits End would be a much further journey.
Jupiter, do you have allies in the flotilla that could help us?
Yeah. But I don't know if they could get a ship all the way over here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Depends on where they are. I was going to ask you to look at the sky and see if you can augur where they might be this time of year.
True. I would know at what point in the melting pot cycle they are currently at. But my
Can
guess
you
is
make
that
us breathe water?
I can do that. My guess though is that there's nowhere in their normal route that would be close enough for them to get here in 2 weeks. We would need somebody who's already up here.
Yeah. Then we ride in their water barrels. Someone puts us in the ship's cargo hold. We hide in their water barrels. Wait, come out. Get them while they're sleeping. Chop, chop, easy peasy. Talking to a bandit here. We've done this before. Pirate's just a sea bandit, right?
Pirates are kind of sea bandits. The problem is that water breathing only lasts for, I believe it's the day.
Yeah, we're just gonna be there for the day.
Well, they load water.
Not even the whole day.
The water is loaded on, like, ahead of time. We would be sitting there for hours, maybe even days.
We can pay off the people to put it in before they leave.
They do put it in before they leave. That's what he
Yeah.
just said.
Right. What I'm saying
We
is
got
Sometimes
ours.
they do it like days ahead of time.
Right. What I'm saying is they put it in too far before they leave.
No, we can pay them to put it in before they leave. Literally, before they leave.
Oh, you're.
Am I speaking common here?
Right.
I'm not sure that you are. Yeah, you want it right before they leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. It could work.
White Queen's right here. You can give a missive. Or do you want to have us all pilot a ship? Climb onto the other place.
That one sounds way more fun.
Yeah. But it's gonna get you guys killed and a ship destroyed by cannon.
How much does a ship cost?
The problem.
Probably a lot.
Hiding in a barrel's. We can't just like. Barrels aren't like trunks. They don't just have a latch that you open and it pops out. We would need somebody on the outside to literally pry the copper fitting off.
Oh, gee. It's almost like we have someone who can punch right through stone, and he punches through a fucking piece of furniture like it's nothing.
A barrel wouldn't stop me.
I'll get you out. Yeah, we're badasses.
Not to mention we can either get or find or craft a trick barrel with a lid that can open.
That's true. That is true. At that point, it wouldn't even need to be full.
The water helps.
Repairing the broken furniture.
Yeah, how does the water help here? Why wouldn't we just do this exact same plan, but with a normal crate? With, like, comfortable padding?
Because they can check. And she'll be more comfortable.
The water, too.
Yeah, they can check the water, and the water would come out when they open the little thing.
Okay, but if we're paying...
Barrels aboard ships, and stop me if I'm wrong, don't always contain just water. Some of them contain rum. Some of them contain hardtack. Some of them contain pickles.
Right.
All we would need is
we can have a small false stop.
Do you mind? All we would need is a barrel with a false bottom.
Right.
Bottom. Not
just
top?
6 or 7 inches from the top. We put a bunch of pickles on top, and we're underneath.
Right.
If they open the barrel to check...
False?
He's talking. Less interrupting.
Yeah. If they open the barrel to check, or even to take rations out of the barrel, they will be able to do so without discovering us.
Right.
And the weight of the barrel should be roughly the same.
See,
Sure.
that works even better.
Absolutely. And if we're paying the people off to be taken on anyway, then we can just pay them off to say that they checked.
Yeah, and you want to get another ship. Crazy. Rich people.
Okay, so there is a potential hiccup in all of this. It all hinges on paying somebody off. What are the odds that this ship's crew is people, as opposed to more pawns?
You can ask the queen that.
Yeah, do you know?
I wouldn't, unfortunately.
We can.
Can
find
the
out in 2
pawns sail a ship?
The pawn's unlikely, but some of the smarter, more advanced mechanical constructs
queens?
could,
Bishops?
theoretically.
weeks. Okay.
Have you seen them do it before?
No, I've never accompanied them on this journey.
Yeah, this could work. It's a higher chance than actually attacking them on the ship.
It is a pretty good plan. I'm into it. If that's the case, we need to get down to the docks of the harbor or wherever she's going to be taking off from and start investigating, finding out if we can get somebody on the inside. We need to start plotting this quickly. So that we
But also, why is it called a false bottom and not a false top?
Because the top is real. It's the bottom that's fake.
No, because it's on top.
Well, it's on top of us, but it's under all the pickles.
You're not replacing the bottom. The bottom's the floor.
Well,
But you're going on the bottom. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
replacing
not the
stuff that
false.
would be-
The bottom's
So,
still there. The bottom
I
is
think
real.
He was
Let me.
talking.
I think I can sort this out. The barrel will have a real bottom,
Uh-huh.
and it will have another fake bottom. So, what do we call the fake bottom? Do we call
The
that
top.
the top?
Yeah, that's on top of you, so it's a top.
So it'll have a real top, a real bottom, and then a fake second top, which doesn't act like a top. It acts more like a bottom because all the food's sitting on top of it, right?
No, because that's the top. It's just sitting on top of the food.
This.
Or it's the
Why,
food's
why
on
don't
top
we
of it.
just call it the false insert and leave
Yeah,
the
there we go.
labels
False
alone?
insert.
I like the word insert more.
The point is that the false part of it is under all of the pickles, which is why it's called a false bottom. The real reason that it's called a false bottom is because usually it's done in like a briefcase or a chest, and the false bottom is
What's a briefcase?
near the actual bottom. It's like this. So it
So-
looks like the bottom, but it's really leaving a couple of inches of spare room. That's why it's usually
So-
called a false bottom.
It's a carrying case for briefs.
Briefs?
I'm gonna go ahead and lay dibs on the hardtack barrel, and
Okay,
Stain, you can
What?
have the pickles.
sure. What else will they have?
Onions?
Lime, lemon, citrus, oranges.
Dibs and onions.
Not for a 2-day journey.
They'll still have it just as a matter of course.
Does garlic keep?
I mean, we're talking about a French queen. Every manner of delectable delight will be available.
True.
Does water breathing let you breathe
Caviar.
and butter mayo
I doubt it.
and garlic butter?
No, I feel like the fats in it would, not be breathable.
This
Would it work on milk?
It might.
Like 2% milk. Not
But
that
butter
actually
is
not
just
bad.
milk.
We should avoid liquids. They tend to dip into the liquids and mix them around, especially milk, because the cream will come to the top. I
They just
imagine
want
them
the top.
taking a big paddle or a ladle if they hit the false top.
So the
Insert.
pickles are a no, right? 'Cause they have liquid.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, pickles might be a pass because they'll be stored
How
in
about
vinegar.
spices?
Spices could work.
I don't think the spices would be carried in a barrel.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
They
Like
would,
a compartment.
they would need a fortune worth of spice.
I'm gonna get in the cinnamon barrel. Nothing will go wrong.
This
Barrel
plan,
full of cinnamon.
this plan does also hinge on finding somebody who can make a number of false barrels.
Allie is an
Point at Allie.
ingenious crap. Yeah.
You think you could handle it?
Oh boy, I was looking forward to 2 weeks of not doing things. But,
You can get this down in one day.
I imagine it would take you an afternoon, yeah.
how long could it possibly to make 7 fake barrels?
Sheesh and I can take one barrel.
We need to get our hands on a barrel that will be on the ship so that we can match.
It also needs to be designed in such a way that they will not stack another barrel on top of it,
How come?
because then we can't pop out.
Well, we just smash through it.
I'll put like a fragile do not stack sticker on it or something.
Incidentally, I doubt they'll do that because they need to be able to access the contents.
True. Good point. You would certainly know that. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. Real world sea knowledge.
All right, so if Allie's on team false insert creation, we'll need someone to go on team retrieve a barrel to maximize our chances of matching the wood and style.
True.
That
true.
sounds like you and Jupe. Real good at that stuff. You're good at talking, and Jupe's got the sea stuff.
I can help with that. I think that I might be better suited to finding a dock worker who can be paid off. That's
Alright.
conspicuously up my alley.
I think I can handle getting a good picture. Besides, I'm not an untalented artist. I could draw the sketch of whatever needs to be. If there are symbols or something on the barrel.
Yeah, I guess. But it's a barrel. How different could it be, right? It's not pink. It'd probably be red, right? Because she's the Red Queen.
It will be easy regardless, but it must be correct.
Does she have a personal ship, or is it a different ship?
Your Highness?
We lost him.
Your Highness?
He fell back asleep.
Oh, he's dead.
I've DM'd enough games to know that he is relishing this opportunity by taking a bathroom break while we're vamping.
We can continue vamping.
Sorry.
Oh, hi.
What? My ear is driving me nuts.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Kohaku was asking a thingy.
Yeah, I was trying to ask Snow whether or not the Red Queen has a personal ship or if she just goes to the dock and finds the nicest one.
I believe she has a ship.
That's gonna be harder.
It will be harder, but if anybody can do it, I think I can. And it must be done. I need to take a look at the barrels so that we make sure that our fake barrels match the ones that will be aboard the ship as closely as possible. So I'd like to take this 2 weeks to get one, hopefully, or if not, at least be able to study one up close.
That should be doable.
While I'm at it, if possible, I'd love to be able to tour the ship to get an idea of its layout.
Think you can map it out?
I can map it out if I can get in it, and I think I can get in it. I have a background feature that lets me do it.
Perfect then.
Although the sooner the better, the closer it is to the departure date, the more suspicious it will be.
So I guess an advance would work. You can do it now.
So, Your Highness, where is the Red Queen's ship docked normally?
I believe they usually take off from 8th Square.
You got time to go there, right? 8th Square. Where's that on the map? Oh, there it is. Over the mountains?
She'll be traveling from the Castle of Hearts over to 8th Square?
Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
In that case, we're on the wrong train completely. We should ambush in the mountains.
Right. Wait. Isn't her place at P?
Yeah.
Tepe? But she's
Oh.
currently visiting the Castle of Hearts.
No.
No? Okay.
I think it's just I think it's just confusing because it's called the Castle of Hearts, so we assume that she's there. Okay, okay.
Oh, well, she's
Fair
the
enough.
Red Queen. The Queen of Hearts is someone different.
Okay, fine. Good to know. And
But-
we're currently in Kelly's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're way closer. Oh, thank you. Having the queen's actual face
Bless.
on top of their like things really helps.
I don't favor the idea of several of us or myself potentially going by myself through the flower maze of the Wood of No Names to
Right.
get to EP.
I'll go with you. We're
Yeah.
killers. We're good at that.
Having the two of you on Team Barrel is a very good idea.
If I can borrow Alec's mask, I could look the part and just help
Yeah,
you.
You can have that back if you want. I've been holding on to it, but
Thanks. If you don't need to hide.
yeah,
So-
I'm good for now.
I would love it if Sheesh came with us as well.
Yeah.
With his knowledge of food prepping, could
That's
be
true.
potentially useful there.
My immense knowledge of barrel.
True.
I bet you've ridden a lot of barrels, huh, buddy?
I've seen a few in my days.
I need to head to 8th Square anyway to start finding a dock worker that we can bribe. Which means I might as well just come with you since I'm going in the same direction. And that essentially means it's just Nara and Alistair. Do you have a reason to stay here, or do you want to just come with?
We should probably just go there and make the stuff there, right?
Right, like I think we
Right,
just all go to
Because
Epé.
otherwise I have to transfer a bunch of barrels from Callus to.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We need to
That'd be
be
weirder.
as absolutely fast as possible. Your Highness, you're fairly quick. You've beat us to several places. How do you do it? How can we get back to Epé as quickly as possible?
I frequently take a carriage. I could provide you with some mounts.
We have flamingos.
Flamingos will be quick.
Is it possible to fly over the Wood of No Names?
Potentially, if you had a mount that could do so.
Or flamingos fly, right?
I don't think so.
They-
These ones don't.
Flamingos can. The giant ones have a little bit of difficulty when mounted.
Guys, I need you to understand. I just learned that flamingos fly, and they look so goofy.
They're so long. You can see in Lion King?
Since they clip the flight feathers in zoos, it just seems like, oh, they can't fly, surely. But they look so silly when they do actually fly.
They're beautiful and
what
pink.
What if a goose was even gooser?
And pink.
And pink.
And just bright pink.
Well, you'd see it coming.
Wow, they can fly over 300 miles in a
No one's
single
ever been
flight.
killed by a flying flamingo. I think. I like to think no one has.
So, I have terrible news for everybody.
What's that?
Oh.
I think I need to call it here because my ear is actually going to
Oh no.
drive me truly mental.
That's totally
I
fine.
know.
I hope you feel better.
It's okay. It's not like bad. It's just that like, so
What's
whenever
in
I'm talking, I get this like weird kind of like Rice Krispie-ish crackle
Ooh.
popping sensation
What
in my
is
ear.
that?
Okay. When you pull, if you will like grab the outside of your ear and pulled it around, is there any sharp pain?
I mean, just like the pain of I'm pulling on my ear.
Okay. It might not be an infection then. I would definitely do the hydroperoxide though.
I already did that before. and
You got to do that like 10 times in a row, once an hour. So it takes a while.
I did it a bunch, and like truly like nothing was coming out.
Huh.
You might have an inner ear infection.
I think I might. I'm seeing my doctor on Thursday, and I'll ask them about it. So
What if you have a little tiny dancer just clicking their fingers every time?
Maybe if it's an inner, so ear infections aren't a big deal, but an inner ear infection can cause deafness. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah. That's important.
I
would prefer
I
you
had tubes a
are
bunch
able
as
to
a
hear us.
kid, so I'll. That might just be.
Fair.
Best of luck.
But yeah, good luck. We have a plan. I think we know where we're headed next time. Having a little
Yeah.
I will make sure to prep a bunch of stuff. So I think the plan is to. Are you guys continuing to do the ship plan, or are you going to try and do a like
We're
mountain ambush?
No, I think the plan is still ship.
Ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that is what I will prep for.
Yeah.
Doing a heist.
Hell
we're
yeah.
gonna heist the Red Queen's ship, go into barrels, make false barrels. So whatever that's going to cost.
I'm so glad she woke up, or he woke up. Okay. I was so worried.
Yep, same. I was like,
Well-
he's gonna hate me forever.
Rolled
Yeah,
a nat 20
That
plus
nat
an
20 was very
11.
good.
Thank you, Kohaku.
Thank you, Biscuit.
First time rolling really fast.
Oh right, I do have blacksmith tools. That's yep. I'll need that for the barrels.
There are
Middle part of the barrels.
6 of us, counting our animal companions. There are 11. This heist will be taken on the sea. I say we call this group of ours that we formed